Hello everyone, my name is Bryan Carter and I am a jazz musician. Wait. I know what you're thinking. When I tell most people that I'm a jazz musician, they think one of three things. One, that I wear brightly colored suits. Two, that I'm the kid they used to beat up in middle school.
I'm gonna kick your butt.
And three, that I play music that used to excite their grandparents. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. So honestly, there's probably a little bit of truth to all of these, and that's why I started touring with my band, the Young Swingers. And now we travel around the world building a young global audience for jazz.
You see, Brian, baby, what you have to understand is that young people just don't like jazz music.
False!
That is absolutely 100% false. If you introduce this music to people in a fun and engaging way, they're gonna love it. Jazz is for everyone, and that's why I think of myself in three different ways. Bryan Carter the musician, Bryan Carter the educator, and Bryan Carter the influencer. You see, I come from a long line of preachers and musicians. I started playing drums and singing in church when I was 3, playing shows when I was a teenager, and heck, I even went to the best music school in the country. When I graduated from college, I started touring the world with several iconic jazz musicians. But I quickly learned that the jazz world operates in its own little bubble. As a jazz musician in 2018, I tried to design my shows to be incredibly engaging, interactive, and entertaining. That means paying special attention to everything from stage and sound design to wardrobe. Musically, my sound is very different from that of Miles Davis and Duke Ellington. They had a much more limited stock of resources and influences, mostly because they themselves hadn't invented vocabulary yet. Duke himself said that there's only 2 types of music, good and the other kind. As someone who was born in the 90s, I'm incorporating the entire length of American music into my sound. So of course that means jazz, but also blues, gospel, hip-hop, country, rock and roll, and of course, the early 2000 pop I grew up listening to on the radio. Touring-wise, this means fleeing from the safety of jazz clubs and performing arts centers and approaching more traditional music clubs, halls, venues that cater more towards other genres outside of jazz. Educationally, I think it's important to mentor and encourage young musicians. It's what's known as each one, teach one, and it's how jazz is passed down from generation to generation. It's also important to visit schools to educate young people who aren't musicians. Jazz teaches you how to listen and how to converse. And the world needs more people who are willing to listen to one another more than ever. Lastly, I'm always looking for new opportunities to broaden my reach. Of course, there's traditional television and radio, but I like to think a little further outside of the box. In order for this to succeed, young people need to see that jazz musicians aren't old people, that there's tons of young, vibrant musicians who are still on the scene keeping the music alive. That's why I've started vlogging on YouTube, and I stay fairly active on both Facebook and Instagram. Alright, so that's pretty much everything you need to know about me. As always, I send you nothing but love, swang, and spang-a-lang. Young Swingers. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.